pillar that put him in power. Pillar number 3 was the hustlers. Hustlers are not generally young people. It is people of a certain economic spectrum, a certain watu wa wale wa kujitafutia. They were feeling let down by the former regime, not creating a conducive environment for them to be able waweze kujikimu. No. Those people, William Ruto lied to them that he would bring them from the bottom to the top. That is the other pillar. Pillar number 4 was what we call goodwill from international community, because he was being kind of persecuted and he was speaking the language that people would want to hear on issues to do with economic policies that you want to bring on board, on human rights, yeah, on even health, where he has failed spectacularly. Does he have that? Gone. Number 5 was kitu inaitwa sympathy. I remember one of my aunts telling me, no. We have to vote for huyu kijana. Mnadharau mtoto ya maskini, ndio sababu mnampiga. Huyu mtoto ya maskini ndampigia. That is a pillar, is a major pillar. There are people who voted for William Ruto purely because they were sympathetic to him. And finally, William Ruto hoodwinked another category of people. Wanaitwa the professionals. He went around putting professionals together to help him come up with an economic blueprint that he's not following right now. But he used that in a way that appealed to what I can call the professionals. That he has gone on to overtax. That he has gone on to raid their pay slips. That is why I've told you there is an emergence of a new voting bloc called the payslip people. You see, wacha nimalize. Hii ni thought ambayo nataka Wakenya wasikie vizuri. Now, and then finally, there was the youth. He resonated very well with young people because he was systematic. He used poster boys. He used Ndindi Nyoro. He used me. He used Silvano Sosoro. He used, let's say, some young man called Nyaga from Embu. He used some Ireri in the diaspora. He used, you know, he had poster boys. He was accessible. He could accept ideas. Does he have, I've told you these pillars. Which pillar does William Ruto remain with? Wewe niambie. Which pillar does he remain with? William Ruto doesn't stand a chance to be re-elected. Even if he's going to use force, the police will not allow him, jeshi haitamwalao, because he has messed them all up.
Tumemsikia mbunge Fatma kutoka kule Mania Wajia akisema kwamba tutaiba, hata kama tutakusanya lazima tujaze hii kikapu. Hiyo
ni, that's a very good utterance. Hiyo inamaanisha kwanza wamejua hawezi kukuwa re-elected. Sasa wacha wajaribu kuiba. Sasa at least we know they know he will not be re-elected. Sasa wacha wajaribu kuiba.
Lakini mheshimiwa, matamshi kama hayo ingekuwa ni mtu mwingine, tukiangazia tukiachana na mambo na ukabila nini, ingekuwa ni mtu mwingine amesema kitu kama hicho kutoka upande mwingine opposition,
just imagine
washachukuliwa tu, lakini yule
just imagine had it been Rigathi Gachagua, had it been Rigathi Gachagua or myself, tungechukuliwa hatua aina gani? Ni hii serikali, I told you, it is a weak passing cloud. Kenyans need to be resilient enough to allow it to finish its term. They do not believe in fairness. They do not believe in empowerment. They believe in using people. They believe in taking advantage of people. Sasa nikuulize, shule hazina capitation. Shule zote. Lakini kuna shule bandia zinatumiwa capitation. How is that possible? Real schools do not receive capitation. But fake registered schools, we saw one in Bomet, there are some in Baringo, they receive capitation. Those that are existing don't receive, or they receive a fraction. And then there is money to loiter around the country to do empowerment programs that Instead of empowering people, that is disempowering them, because unapata mtu anatumia bus fare 170,000 kufika, akifika pale anapewa shilingi 300. That is only fair back.
Mheshimiwa, umenikumbusha kuna picha ambayo inaenea katika mitandao ya kijamii ya shule moja kutoka kule maeneo ya Deputy President Namu kule Tharaka, ambayo inajengwa na matope, lakini Wakenya wamekuwa wakiuliza sana, watu wamekuwa wakitembea na ndege, empowerment, kwa nini basi wasianzie kule kwao nyumbani? Umejibu swali hilo.
Yeah, we have a disgraceful group of empowerment crusaders who do not even look at their own backyards. These people are selfish. They want people waendelee kuwa maskini ndio waendelee kuwatawala. Mimi mwenyewe niliona huyo deputy president akikanyaga matope ya kujenga shule moja kule kwao. I'm not saying he can do it in one day. He cannot. But mikakati gani imewekwa, na si kwao pekee, sehemu zote. Kwa kina rais hapa Bomet, shule ni kama hizo tu. Kwetu hakuna shule kama hiyo. Kwangu, constituency yangu, hakuna shule kama hiyo. Hakuna shule imejengwa na matope in my constituency. We finished all that. We have permanent and habitable classrooms. We have clean and modern pit latrines. Sasa shule kama ile haina darasa, wewe unafikiri wako na vyoo? Wako na vyoo? Ngumu. So what we are saying, hii ni serikali iko na kitu inaitwa misplaced priorities. And that is why we are saying they need to be gotten out. I know they are doing everything possible to try and win back. But Kenyans know them. Juzi wameamua wanataka wazazi waanze kulipa school fees ya primary school, secondary school increased, university wameshaharibu. Wakati wameona hii kitu itatuletea shida, they retracted. But we want to tell Kenyans, you know William Ruto, he wants a second term. Just imagine if William Ruto gets a second term, he will reintroduce school fees from nursery school all the way to university. If he gets a second term, this SHA thing that they are threatening hospitals to treat you even if it is not working, he will not care. If he gets a second term, you can imagine the tribalism he's going to push. Before the Gen Zs, you know what he was doing with all the prime parastatals. All of them ni watu kutoka makabila mainly mawili. Kweli wa mambo. Hiyo ni before ile July 25th last year. If William Ruto gets a second chance, people like myself, he will not going for the what I can call small fishes. Hii watoto hawa wanachinja. The next people will be myself, the Sifunas, Babu Winos, the Wambokas, the Kaleba Misses that have told him no, stop oppressing Kenyans, stop taking advantage of Kenyans. Sisi ndiye atatumaliza. And that is why we are saying William Ruto does not deserve an extra minute in power.
Na mheshimiwa, nina maswali mawili labda ya mwisho. Kuna hii narrative ambayo ni conclave sasa hivi ya mazungumzo kati ya wananchi na serikali, labda broad based government, lakini Wakenya wanauliza kwamba iwapo MOU bado haijakuwa implemented, basi ni nini?
Let me, you've answered that. Because can we first even implement the MOU? Yeah? We have not compensated anybody. Mtu tu amekuwa compensated ni baba ya Ojwang. And I don't know that kind of compensation ilifanywa behind the curtains. Yeah? Hao wengine wote compensation. Polisi washikwe, wahukumiwe, those who are involved. We need free press. We need freedom of association, freedom of picketing. Hivyo vitu vyote na mambo mengine yote yalikuwa katika hiyo MOU. Number 3, iko kitu inaitwa NADCO ambayo haijakuwa implemented. You get? So all these things need to be dealt with before we can talk about the other things. And William Ruto, I want to tell you, you keep telling people they do not have an agenda. Do you listen to yourself, Mr. President? You are a monumental letdown to Kenyans. You keep pointing at things, at shiny things that impress you. You need to talk about things that impress the common mwananchi. You're talking about housing. Who tells you housing is popular? It is just popular with you and the people you give contracts. You talk about employing people, you keep changing numbers, employing young people in the housing projects. 1 minute you say 50,000, the next 70, the next 400,000. Can you even try sometimes to look at these numbers? You recently said you've exported 400,000 people to go and work abroad. The people who've gone to work abroad, number one, 80% are through their own initiative. The other 20% that you claim to be 400,000, it is a lie. Since 2022 to date, people who've gotten visas as workers in foreign land are less than 150,000 Kenyans. Because you just need to walk into Qatari embassy, get the figures, walk into Saudi Arabia embassy, walk into the US embassy, walk into the Polish embassy, walk into Lithuania embassy, and you should be able to know how many people have gone. Stop throwing numbers that keep embarrassing you, Mr. President. You need to be concerned about issues of Kenyans, not issues of your friends who are in these housing projects, who are doing these systems, who are getting tenders in government. You are being lied to if indeed these are the figures your officers bring to you to keep throwing around. Mr. President, we will not allow you to systematically come with those lies and we don't talk about it. Don't hate us. Hate the people who give you fake numbers. Don't dislike us. The agenda in 2027 is first to get you out of power. Once we get you out of power, we will deal with the other issues. The urgent and practical issues for this country now, Mr. President, are, number one, affordable and accessible health care. You have not achieved. Stop lying. Number two is affordable and accessible education from the very basic level to university and colleges. Number three is food security. Stop telling us about cost of unga. Food security is broad. We are lucky we've been having rains since 2021. We've had long rains. You claim it is fertilizer. Without rains, whatever amount of fertilizer you put on the soil, you cannot get any produce. And number two, people want sugar. People want cooking fat. People want the various other products. So do not constantly throw around the cost of unga. If I told you when you got into power, Mr. President, the cost of cement was 650 shillings. Now the cost of cement is 1,100. When you got into power, the cost of buying a motor vehicle, a Vitz, for example, was about 650,000 shillings. What is it today? You need to start looking at things beyond the things that excite you. Kenyans know better. Kenyans moved on, Mr. President. Kenyans are informed people. They understand the economy. They understand what they are going through. It is about improving the quality of life of Kenyans, not the quality of life of your friends and your surrogates and those that hang around you, Mr. President. I may speak the whole day, but I believe even YouTube channels and your radio stations and TV stations have a limit to what we will want to talk. I know I've surprised you as well. I went on to talk without your questions, but I believe I've answered the majority of your questions.
Yeah, sure. Mheshimiwa, kuna swali moja tu la mwisho. Tunamwona Matiang'i ambaye alikuwa wakati mmoja waziri wa wizara ya ndani hapa nchini Kenya na pia masuala ya shule pale education. Na sasa hivi tunamwona amejiunga na Rigathi Gachagua ambaye alikuwa naibu wa rais ambaye alitimuliwa mamlakani. Tuna Maraga pale, tuna kina Natembea pale. Hawa watu wote kuna baadhi ambao wanasemekana kwamba wana support side nyingine lakini wamejificha kule. Pia serikali inasema kwamba hamna plan. Labda.
Si ndio nimemweleza William Ruto ndiye hana plan. You know, I've told you, William Ruto has an obsession with telling you about the shiny things that excite him. He does not tell you about the crooks, the things that actually affect mwananchi. He telling you about housing. 400,000 people to the west to go and work. Which is not true. The opposition is united and they have a plan. The first plan is to get William Ruto out. The next plan is to work on urgent and practical things that improve the quality of people, or quality of life of Kenyans. We don't want to get into the details because he may use that to try and again hoodwink Kenyans one more time. Ya pili, niseme Fred Matiang'i has demonstrated